Hi friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, we are going to be doing my October debt update. I'm actually filming this just a little bit early, but I'm excited about it. So if you would like to see how much progress we made on our goal of paying off my husband's cell phone in October, and you want to see what's coming down the pipeline for the rest of 2021 with my debt, then this is the video for you. Just keep on watching. Make sure you take a minute and click the thumbs up button if you like this video, and if you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back, follow along with my debt-free journey. Yeah, let's get into this update. Okay, so as I said in the intro, I'm actually filming this video a little bit early. I typically do not film my debt updates until I make my final debt payment for the month, and I still have one more week to make a payment towards this goal. But next week, I'm going to be filming my sinking funds update. So I had to kind of decide which one did I want to film early. The phone update, the debt update, or the sinking funds update, just with the way that the filming schedule worked out. So I decided to go ahead and film my debt update early. So we made a goal to pay off my husband's cell phone in the month of October. You guys know we had just recently paid off a credit card, and before we started tackling another credit card, unfortunately we had to accumulate a little bit more debt. That seems to be the nature of my debt-free journey. We pay off a credit card, and then the next thing you know, we accumulate more debt. Just the way it is. You know, it's not like an even-keeled process. There's ups, there's downs. My husband needed a new cell phone, so we went ahead and put the cell phone on a credit card with the idea that we would pay it off in a month, really quick and easy peasy, and then we could move on with our debt-free journey. So, in order to accomplish that goal, what I decided to do was take $125 out of each one of my husband's paychecks in the month of October, pay it towards this phone, $125 a week, that equals $500 at the end of the month. And so that is what I have done. Technically, there's still one more paycheck in the month of October, but I don't anticipate that being any different. Next week, we'll pay that last $125, and this phone will be paid off. So, that was the plan, $125 every single week. We did stick to that plan, which I will show you reflected here in my weekly budgets. So I just need to skip ahead to October. I need to really clean out and organize my budget planner a little bit, but there's no sense in doing that now. We're going to be making some big changes and flipping things around right at the start of next year. So, you know, we're just going to go with the flow. So this is my October budget. And these are my paycheck budgets. So you can see, in terms of extra debt payments, October week 1, we did pay $125. October week 2, oh, this was a rough draft. Here we go. October week 2, $125 did get paid. October week 3, $125 did get paid. I just haven't written in that actual amount yet because I haven't done my budget update for the week yet, but rest assured I did go and make this payment today. And then for paycheck week 5, which we haven't gotten to yet, I'll pay an additional $125, and that'll be it. So at the time of filming this video, I technically have only paid $375 of that $500 debt. But like I said, I'll definitely be making that last payment next week, and we will have met our goal of paying off this phone. That is, of course, as long as nothing catastrophic happens. You know, we don't like to count our chickens before they hatch. So what I'm going to do for today is just fill in to where we have paid so far, so up to this $370 mark. I'm going to color it in using my pretty highlighters. We're not going to count our chickens before they hatch, like I said. Next week when I film my budget, provided I can put that $125 towards this card, I'll go ahead and color it in the rest of the way and we'll call it done. Like I said, just with the way the filming schedule happened, I had to film this today or it wasn't going to get posted until like the second week of November, so I figured early's better than late. So we've paid $375 so far, so that's what I'm going to use my highlighters here and color into, and then we're going to talk about what's coming next down the pipeline. I'm hoping, really hoping, I'm going to be able to pay off one more credit card before the end of the year. It's going to be a really, really, really tough stretch goal for it, but that's the plan. We'll talk about that some more after I get this colored in. And for October, I'm actually going to pull some different colors. I'm going to pull this orange, peachy color, it's not really orange, and this brown, and that's going to be the color scheme for this chart. So I'm going to go ahead and color this in, and I will be right back. Oh boy, did I make a mess out of that chart. I am so sorry if you guys were all cringing at that horrifying coloring job I did, but as you can see, we filled it in all the way up to $370. Technically I've paid $375, but not quite $380, so I couldn't color in that last line. We'll finish coloring this in next week during one of my budget videos, I'm sure, but for now, even though this isn't quite paid off, we're going to talk about my goal for the rest of 2021. So, if you watched my videos at the beginning of the year, I talked a lot about how our goal was to be completely out of credit card debt by the end of 2021. And about mid to 3/4 of the way through the year, I quickly came to the conclusion that I wasn't going to be able to meet that goal. We had to kind of slow down our progress because of, circumstances beyond our control, things at work and, life in general, prices of everything going up and whatnot. So no, we are not going to be credit card debt free by the end of the year. However, I want to get as close as possible to that. And so moving into November, once this phone is paid off, I'm going to start tackling a credit card. Right now, we actually have 2 credit cards that carry a balance. For a while there, I said we were down to 2. Since then, we did accumulate a little bit more debt. Like I said, that's sort of the theme of my debt-free journey. It's definitely not a perfect journey. Sometimes things have come up and we've had to use credit cards. And it is what it is. I don't think we are ever going to be the type of people to cut up all our credit cards and pay everything in cash. It's just not our journey. Maybe that's the journey you're on. Maybe it's your goal to pay off all your credit cards, cut them up, and never use credit again. That's not who we are. We actually, on a regular basis, use credit cards. We put a lot of our spending on credit cards and then pay the credit cards off every month. We accumulate a lot of credit card rewards that way. It's easier to keep track of things that way. So we're not anti-credit card people. You do for you what you think is best, but for us, we're not anti-credit card. And right now we have quite a few cards that we use on a regular basis and pay off. But in addition to that, we have 2 credit cards with balances. One of those balances is actually pretty high. The second credit card is a credit card that we accumulated debt on within the last couple of months. We bought some equipment for my husband for work, and we did a few other little transactions, odds and ends here. Swiping it, not really swiping it, but purchasing things on Amazon here and there, just little things, but it adds up, right? And it's easy for that to kind of snowball out of control. So that card with the smaller balance is the card that we are going to try to tackle and pay off by the end of 2021 in order to move into 2022 with just one card with a balance. It is a pretty high balance, but having it all on just one card and going into 2022 with just one credit card is going to feel pretty darn good. But in order to meet that goal, we're really going to have to hustle in these last 2 months of the year, because this is the time of year where we tend to spend a lot with the holidays, and we do have our Christmas sinking fund, but little tiny things here and there ends up coming out of our typical monthly budget. It just happens. That's the way it is. It's kind of the hustle and bustle of the end of the year. Seems like everything right now is ridiculously expensive, so finding the extra money in the next 2 months to pay towards this debt it's going to be tough. So instead of yammering about it, let me talk to you about what the card is. So I've already printed out a new credit card tracker. You guys know I love these credit card trackers from Debt Free Charts. They are completely free. You can go onto her website and download these that look just like this for your credit card debt journey. She also has plenty of other debt-free charts. You just download them, print them yourself. I do have her website linked down below. The credit card that we're going to be working on is a Chase credit card. So currently we have this Chase card that has a balance, and then we have another credit card which we'll be tackling in 2022, and it's a card that we did some debt consolidating. We had a Walmart credit card that had like $4,000 or something on it, and then we had some other little cards that had, accumulated just a little bit of debt, so we just consolidated everything onto that card. I don't even know what the balance is, but it's high. It's much higher than this Chase card. And that we will tackle in 2022. But for this Chase card, I need to look up really quickly what the balance is, because I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going into my app here. Okay, so the current balance on our Chase card, and the statement just was released, so this should be an accurate balance, is $1,480.88. So just under $1,500. For us to come up with $1,500 over the course of the next 2 months, it's going to be tough. Like, when I say it's going to be tough, I mean it. For the last couple of months when we have paid extra towards debt, it's been about $500 a month, and that's without all the extra expenses of the holiday season. So, we're talking about $750 in November and $750 in December. Is that right? You guys know that my mental math game is not strong. 1,500 divided by 2. Yeah, okay, so $750 each month, or maybe, like 600 one month, 800 the other. Either way, it's going to be tough. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but I want to set the goal high. I want to aim for the stars. I want to try really, really hard to make this Chase card a thing of the past so we can move into 2022 with just that one credit card left. Listen, if we fall short of this goal and we can't make it, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, right? But I really want to push myself to try really hard to pay this Chase card off in the next 2 months. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be paying a little bit out of every single one of my husband's paychecks for the next 2 months. I'm also going to try really hard to bring in some extra money, hopefully from my Etsy shop. I will have my December releases coming about mid-November. I already have my November releases up. Hopefully my YouTube videos will continue on the trajectory they've been on. My views have been down a little bit, and I haven't been making quite as much money on YouTube, but hopefully I can put some of my YouTube income towards this Chase card. we're just going to try to zip up our budget and spend less on food and those variable expenses that we can control. And we're going to try to make this happen. If it doesn't happen and we have to go into 2022 with a little bit of a balance left on this chase card, you know, it is what it is. It's just a goal. Sometimes we don't meet our goals, but I'm going to try really hard to pay down as much of this chase card as possible, and we'll see how it goes. So I need to really quickly fill in this little sidebar here with how much each of these lines is going to be worth, so that when I color in my chart, I can have an accurate representation of how much we paid off each month. You guys will, of course, be able to watch along in November and December with our budgets and see how much we're dedicating towards debt each week. And I'm also going to be doing things a little bit differently with my sinking funds in November and see how that goes. So lots of big money things happening in November and December. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm going to quickly fill this in and figure out how much each of these lines is going to be worth, and then I will come back and we'll do an outro. Okay, so I have this all set up now. Full disclosure, I totally had to print a new one and start over because I messed up the numbers. I'm telling you guys, I cannot do math. So each one of these lines then that I color in will be worth $30, with the exception of this first one because I did have to round up to get an even number. So this first one's only going to be $10.88, which will be nice to give me a little bit of a jump start. But yeah, starting in November. So I'm actually going to go ahead and write my starting date as the first paycheck in November, which will be, let's see, November 2nd, I believe. So that'll be our start date. Hopefully I got that right. If not, there's always whiteout. I can change it later, but that should be our start date. And hopefully we can get this $14.80.88 paid off before we ring in the new year. Do you guys think I can do it? Leave me a comment down below with some encouraging words, please. I'm really nervous. It seems like every time I set a specific goal like this, I fall short of it, so hopefully that will not be the case this time. If it is, you know, I'll be disappointed, but it's not the end of the world. But I'm really going to try. It's going to be really tough, but I think we can do it. So, if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back. I appreciate your support so much. Watching my videos, purchasing my printables from Etsy, all of those things help us on our way to being credit card debt-free. So, thank you for supporting my debt-free journey, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.